Hey guys, it's Jessie. So today we're going to be doing a little bookish art project. I've never done this before, but I've watched a lot of videos on how to do it. So I think I know how to do it. It doesn't look that hard, but we're gonna try. So today we are going to be painting the edges of a book, like the pages, so it's all nice and pretty and stuff. Since this is my first attempt, like I've never tried it before this video, I didn't practice or anything, you guys are gonna see the real deal. And if I like how it comes out, I'll do a second one that actually I am invested in because I have planned. I thought about a color scheme for a different book, but we'll see. So, my first step for this is to pick a book that you have absolutely no emotional attachment to. Or no positive emotional attachment to. So that way, if the book gets messed up, since this is the first try, you won't care. Or at least you won't be mad. Maybe if you're like me, you'll just feel a little bit of joy at the fact that this book that hurt you so much, this book that you do not like, this book that ruined a series for you, got just a little bit hurt. Maybe, just maybe, if you're petty like me, you know, that'll be your silver lining in messing up on the first try, which is fine. Everyone messes up on their first try. It's like the first pancake phenomenon. So, let's get to it. The first thing we're gonna do, well, after picking the book that hurt you, untie my hair, because it's hot and I don't want paint in my hair, because I'll cry. I just washed it and dyed it. See, I just dyed it. It's a dark blue now. It's really pretty. If I can reach these paper towels. I'm making a little bit of a mess, but my room's already a mess, so it's okay. I'm gonna use that later. No, we're gonna use this now. So what I'm going to do, I'm gonna take this paper towel and just wipe off the things of the book, the edges, the pages, to make sure, get out any dust or like little particles are in there, since I haven't touched this book in many years. There might be some dust buildup, who knows. I mean, technically I touched it to move it, but whatever. So, okay, so looks like it's dust free. What we're gonna do now is we are going to tape the edges . Oh, it's gonna be an awkward part to do. We'll figure it out. So I'm using painter's tape because I happen to have painter's tape lying around, and I feel like painter's tape is appropriate for a project that involves paint. Yeah. And I also just had painter's tape for something else. But yeah, so that's what we're using to tape on the edge of the book. Plus, I feel like painter's tape comes off easily, so once we're done, it won't damage the actual cover of the book. So that's always the goal, to not damage the books. I find that it's easier to measure or approximate the tape when the book is open to get these like shorter sides, just because once you open it, there's that weird like fold area, and that's not straight at all. Neither is that. Yeah, right around. Oh my god, that's the worst thing. Okay, well, we have the size. Okay, so. Okay, that's better. Now we can close it and tape that down. Tape that way. Okay, this is glued. So we have to do this part now, but I don't know how to. We're gonna get the tape in there, cause, okay, you know, we're gonna figure this out. Cause if I do the thing and I do it right, but I get paint on that, I'm gonna be a little annoyed, just because I don't like when things don't do what I want them to do. Okay, it's not bad. So this is what one side looks like. This is the bottom of it. And now we're just gonna do that same thing to the top. So usually painter's tape, it's very easy to rip because it's just paper with adhesive on the back. But I cut this side with, so you can usually tear it, but I cut this one with scissors because I feel like the straight line might help it just go inside better. Who knows? Okay, so this is what the book looks all the way around. Now we're going to take out our Crafter's acrylic paint. You do not have to use fancy art paint. I got this at Home Depot for like $8 for a 12-pack, which I feel like is a good price. So you do not have to use fancy schmancy supplies. I do not even own fancy schmancy supplies, so it's fine. You don't have to be some crazy artiste, you know. It's fine if you have no idea what you're doing, because yes, I've taken art many a times and I've painted stuff before, but I am no crazy artiste. And are these pages folded? Oh, this page is folded. And torn a little. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, I don't like when the pages are folded, okay? At me. Maybe I'll do like this bluish white thing it's got going on. So let's see. White, gray, and this nice, pretty dark turquoise color. That's literally what it's called. To leave a decent amount of space between the colors so I can go back in and add more and then like mix them together. And how did I already get paint on my hands? How? But yeah, I'm gonna leave some space between them so I can come back in later and mix them to make like a nice pretty gradient. I also got this paintbrush set from Home Depot. It was like $2 because I don't know where our paintbrushes are, and I thought this was a 4-pack. No. So I'm gonna take this nice hefty Walking Dead comic anthology, put it right on top, and do that first, because yeah. And then I'm gonna take this box full of cans of liquid, because liquids are heavy, put it right on top, because what you don't want is you don't want your pages moving around at all when the paint is wet, because then you can get paint inside. That's what everyone says in their videos, and I 100% trust them. I'm not willing to risk getting paint on the pages, because then I'll just have intentionally messed up the product. So what you do is you take a dry brush. You do not use a brush with water on it at all for this, because then the water gets into your pages and that's messy and it gets all warped, and we don't want warped pages. You have to take a dry paintbrush. I guess, crap, I can't remember what's the top. Okay, I'm facing the bottom of the book, so I'm going to start down here with this lovely gray. And another thing you don't want to do is you don't want to paint like heavy layers of paint or thick layers of paint, because crap, I can't remember what I was saying. Because that will also warp your pages, and it will also probably get into there. So yeah, we're aiming for like 1 coat of paint. So I'm using this acrylic paint. I told you that already. Let's get to it. Oh, there's definitely some turquoise in there, but that's okay. Oh, no. So that's why you be very careful if you're using books to weigh down the other book. Just make sure not to get paint on those. Maybe I should have done the white first. Maybe. But that's fine. I should have done the white, then the gray, then the turquoise, but it's okay. We'll know for next time. Start with your lightest color. This is what the book looks like so far. Okay, all these colors just look like separate blocks of color in here. Okay, I don't like the way this is coming out. The worst thing I love painting, but the worst thing about it is the cleaning of the brushes. And when you can't use water, because you can't use a wet brush, it's the worst part. It makes it even worse. I'm just going to squeeze a little bit of paint directly onto the brush, which is not something I would recommend to anyone, but I'm going to do it because I'm a rebel. Oh, fuck. Okay, so I just realized that the TV was playing while I did a whole explanation of what we're doing. So I'm just going to reiterate really quickly. Right now what I'm doing is I'm slowly and carefully taking off the tape. And I'm afraid to do this ever again because I don't know if it's with all books that it's doing this or if it's just with this particular book, but the tape is kind of pulling up some of the actual cover itself. And it's fine. I don't know if it would do that to every book or if it's just doing that to this book because of the way the cover is. I don't know. I don't know if that made sense, but this texture is sort of like a linen-y thing. Oh no, my hand is getting paint on the inside. That's okay. Ugh, my hands themselves are getting paint all over the cover of the book. But that's okay. There's a dust jacket on it, but on it. So now that we have all of the tape off of the book, that doesn't look terrible. Okay, this one actually looks really nice. This part looks like a paint swatch from Home Depot, and that just looks like they dipped it in water, but it's okay. So the next part of what you have to do once the paint is dry is you have to like take the pages and sort of fan them out because they're definitely gonna be stuck together because obviously they're painted together. So you just have to go through and unstick them, and then once the paint is dry and they're unstuck, they won't get stuck together again, but you just have to go so God, this one's hard to like fan the pages out of. This is basically what I'm trying to do. And a nice little... Okay, it took me 19 minutes to do all of these pages. All 530, give or take. Oh, my legs hurt so much. But it looks good. I did tear some of the pages because I'm impatient and I tried to do it really fast. That did not work, so it's fine. But I am going to do one more. And now that I think I have the hang of it, I'm going to do a book that I have not read the book yet. I'm just gonna do it because it's an easy color to pick, and I'm only gonna do one color this time. But let's see what this looks like with the entire. Does it go with the cover? I think it kind of does. Okay, the next one I'm gonna do that. Not gonna be my first pancake. Is Jack of Hearts by Elsie Rosen. And I'm just going to do this with a nice pink. Okay, so I may have lost track of time. It's probably been about 20 minutes. And let's just see, make sure go around the whole thing. If any pink comes off on my hand. No, I think we're good. So, I'm gonna take this off. I'm gonna take these off. Okay, so the painter's tape was definitely a lot nicer to this cover than it was to the Allegiant cover. Yeah, it might be because the Allegiant cover was pretty worn. I carried that book around for days and days and days, and I literally cried into the cover of that book. I did not care. So that might have contributed to why the fabric, I guess, came off so easily with the tape. But here, looks like it's doing pretty okay. Oh, I got the tape into the corner. Now, see if I can get the tape out. I managed to get all of the tape off without hurting the actual cover of the book. It looks like the only pages really that get stained, like once you open it and you can see the paint, is this like outside, I don't know what you call this. It's like thicker than the other pages and it's blank and it's in all of the books. I don't know what it's called. I feel like there's definitely a name for it. Okay, so I'm done with the second book, which is Jack of Hearts and Other Parts by Elsie Rosen. And I did pink, and this is what it looks like in the terrible lighting of my bedroom. But I got as close to the actual pink of the words as I could. And, ow! That hurt. The book cover landed on the bone. That's fine. Okay. I think it looks pretty good. I like it. I'm proud. This one definitely turned out better than the last one, and I didn't rip any pages this time. So, we're proud of me. And this time it only took 17, give or take. 16 or 17 minutes. We're gonna, like... Doesn't that look so pretty? I love it. I really want to do a third one, just so we have a third one. Okay, so I think I'm done with the painting for tonight. I'm very tired and my hands are covered in paint. Look at that. It's nothing new, but okay, how is this paint getting all the way down here? I don't know if I'll ever do this again. I feel like I would. It's a lot of fun. It's just pairing the colors is so annoying, but I have 3 in mind that I know what colors I want to do. I ended up painting the edges of 4 books, which is Allegiant, which was our test run that turned out weird. I don't know how I feel. Like, the individual colors are really pretty, and this bottom part where it's from gray to blue came out really nice. Well, I think it came out really nice. But yeah, that was just our test book, so it's fine. The rest of them, so I ended up doing 4 in total, and the other 3 I just did solid colors all around. Ow. The first, so we have Jack of Hearts and Other Parts by Elsie Rosen, which is a lovely pink. It took a while to get this pink. Like, it took longer than it should have. But yeah, it was the closest I could get to the color of the writing on the cover. And then I did You Can Keep a Secret by Karen M. McManus. So this book has like a cream whitish cover itself, and the pages, like this open first page part thing, I don't know what that's called, is red. So that was a little, that like threw a wrench in what I wanted to do, but I just decided to do red for the edges anyway, because I think it looks nice. Plus the part where the red, I'm sure, spilled onto this, you can't see, except for this bottom part, but that's because it's torn, but we're not going to talk about that. But it looks really nice with the cover, right? I tried to do like a darker red, because I didn't want to do just a regular bright red, but it kept coming out too burgundy, so I was just like, no, we're just going to do bright red. And I think it actually works. I think that actually is the color of the outline, so it's fine. And the last book I did is One of Us is Lying, also by Karen M. McManus. But this one, since it has a red cover and white inside, which was kind of annoying, but with a red cover and it has the title on the spine in black, I decided to do black, which I think looks so pretty. And I have paper towels in here because this is the only one where the spine of the hardcover came apart, like there was a giant gap between that and the spine of the binding, so I ended up getting a lot of paint on the thread itself, and it is not dry yet, so I just put the paper towels there to try to take out the excess and not get so much paint on the red inside, even though it's already painted. But like, that looks so pretty. I love it. Yeah. Oh, but with these last 2, instead of using the regular paintbrushes, what I used was this like sponge, and I think that came out so much better with the sponge than with the brushes, because the sponge itself I think kind of like doesn't let you put so much paint on the paper. It kind of absorbs the excess onto itself. The paint goes onto the pages more smoothly, and it's easier to take them apart, and you don't get as much paint on the inside with the brush. So I mean, with the sponge, if you're gonna do this at home, I would definitely recommend using a paint sponge, rather than a paintbrush. So yeah, that's been my adventures in painting book pages. So that's all I have for this video. I will link the paint and the supplies I used down below, and I will also link all of the original videos I saw with people painting the edges of their page. And if you want to try this at home, I would definitely recommend it, because it's just so much fun and it looks so pretty. And I will see you next week. Bye. No, I don't like that outro. So that's all I have, and I will see you next week.